Do these pants look all right? Sometimes I put them on and I'm thinking I look all balls.
Oh my gosh, Ryan Reynolds, you have no idea. Real quick, hey, hope you're having a great day. What's up? It's the Huff Uncensored. Anyway, the reason why I played that is I'm wearing these shorts. I gotta be honest with you, and I don't know if this grosses you out or if you can relate. I'm a guy that hardly ever washes his pants or shorts. Okay. And I told you yesterday that I was prepping ribs and I accidentally spilled Worcestershire sauce everywhere, all over my pants, and I sat in the filth. Here's what's funny. I went through the entire day with stained pants on. Didn't care. Stained shorts, excuse me, right? And then I realized I'm like, I guess I have to wash them. I don't know when I washed those last. I've been wearing them most of the summer. And I know that sounds gross to some people, but come on. I mean, as long as they don't smell, what's the big deal? And if it's underwear, yes, you wash it, it's one wear. If it's a shirt, it's one wear, right? That makes sense. But pants, I feel like, are in a different category. Am I wrong in thinking that? Because I was forced to wash my shorts. Otherwise, I'd be wearing them right now. But instead, I'm wearing, my second tier shorts, and they're a little snug. That's all I'm saying. My balls are screaming, going, gosh, dang it. Let me be free. Because I ain't. I am all balls in these shorts. Man, am I the only one that does that? Who doesn't wash his pants very often? I guess the CEO of Levi's he's like, you should spot wash them. You shouldn't wash your blue jeans. It's bad for the material and they'll last longer. But if they stink, or if you spill a significant amount of Worcestershire, then you kind of have to. My my, I was forced. Okay, I was trying to think of what the proper words to say, but I was forced to wash my shorts, and I'm not happy about it because these things they're what you would call nut huggers. Okay, you would think that they were Wranglers, but they're not. I don't even know what brand these are, but man, I am popping out. Sorry, great visual as usual to start the show. Sorry. But let me know. Are you the type of person that refuses to wash your jeans or your shorts until necessary? I just don't see what the big deal is. If they don't stink and they're not stained, who cares? Fuck it. Anyway, hey, make sure you hit that subscribe button wherever you're listening. Also, remember today's show, it's presented to you by Bet Online. In fact, Bet Online is the world's most trusted betting platform and your number one source for everything football. Bet Online has every stat, every matchup, even live odds and spreads to bet on during the games. And if you think you know your stuff, get in on Bet Online's $200,000 mega contest and pick 5 games against the spread every single week for your chance at weekly prizes and a share of $200,000. Now, when the games are all over, head on over to their online casino and get in on the game of blackjack or poker, or even unwind with one of their over 150 slot games. Go to betonline.ag right now to get in on the action. It's Bet Online. The game starts here. Now, obviously, I start the show off talking about how snug my balls are, okay? It's been a weird morning. I'm a little late on hitting the record button. It's just craziness. Why? Because my daughter got her braces off today. It's the first stage. So once all her other teeth officially come in, they may do a second round. And that's cool. It's great. She's very excited. But the problem is, I'm just way behind. So that's good. She's excited. I remember when I had braces, getting them off finally, I couldn't stop just tonguing my own teeth. Okay. It was fun. So she's excited now. Because she also had an expander up on her roof of her mouth, and now she can finally eat like a lot of foods, and she's super excited. So I'm happy for her. But I did want to recap a big debate that happened last night. Obviously, um, if you're on social media, you probably were well aware of what was going on. And one clear winner. I know a lot of people don't want to talk about this, but hey, guess what? I'm out balls today. There was one clear winner last night in the debate. Soft cookies. Um, what what would you think I was talking about? There wasn't another debate, was there? Because I posted this on my social, on my X, excuse me, my Twitter account. The only debate that matters: best type of cookies, soft cookies or hard cookies. And I got to be honest, I was shocked because soft cookies ran away with it, 81% to hard cookies, 19%. There was no interference by the moderators, nothing like that. There's no, I'm not sure what the answer for hard cookie would be versus the soft cookie. It's a clear runaway. Okay. Hard cookie was sitting there trying to make his point or make the point, but it just wasn't. It's like you're just saying the same shit, no real substance. And when you think about soft cookie, it's just so much pleasure going in your mouth. If you're thinking I'm trying to make a parallel to last night's actual presidential debate, I was until that last moment, and I'm like, ew, now I feel dirty. Yeah, I love soft cookies. Soft cookies are so fucking good. The only reason I brought that posted that was I was watching the debate last night, and my wife was putting my son to bed, saying good night to him, and I sneak into the pantry, and we have cookies up there, but they're hard cookies, and I'm not a fan of hard cookies. I love the like soft batch. Oh my goodness, those are so delicious. Any type of soft cookies are phenomenal. But anyway, yeah. So the debate was interesting last night. There's a lot of side debate, and I think it is doesn't matter what side you're on. You could see that there was a little bit of bias as far as the moderators, where they would they would correct President Trump versus nobody ever corrected uh, Harris. But that being said, I didn't see anything that jumped out that she said that was blatantly wrong. I don't need to get into politics. I don't know enough about it. Okay. I would bet that a lot of us think we might know, but we don't. But it did seem like it was a clear winner with Harris over Trump. That being said, they do need to do it again and have it where it's not where the moderators don't interfere as much, uh, to make it a little bit more fair and one less thing for people to go, listen, that's kind of jacked up. He's trying to finish his sentence, and they're just like cutting him off. Whereas she was finishing a sentence and they were just like, uh, Vice President Harris, and then she just talks louder, and they're like scared to turn off her microphone. So you could kind of see that. Okay, it doesn't matter what side you're on. You could kind of look like, oh, there was a little bit more favoritism towards her. Did that necessarily make the debate go in her favor? I don't think so. I don't think so. I'm sure some people would say uh, otherwise, but it's fine. Whatever. It's always interesting to watch those to see how different people present themselves. I don't think really, all joking aside, I don't think one side really dominated, other than she did have a lot more things to bring as far as more plans, whereas he didn't. But listen, guys, I don't want to talk about politics, and I, I enjoy seeing those because it's a great process that we have in the United States. I just hope they do it again and put it on a different playing field and see how that goes. Okay. But anyway, that's the most politics I want to talk on this show. I know everybody is passionate about one side or the other. I mean, Taylor Swift is came out and said she endorses Harris, so I guess that's good for Harris. I know that pisses a lot of people off, but if I'm a celebrity, I would never come out and officially endorse one side or the other. I gotta be honest, because that's like a huge chunk out of your paycheck, right? Because if you have a lot of people that are Trump supporters and you're Taylor Swift, you just lost them, like because they're diehard. And to be honest, like yeah, I don't really blame them for that. It's the same way if it was just flip-flopped. If she came out and endorsed Trump, she would lose a lot of her Harris supporters, right? Type of thing. So, I I think it's just I don't like it when celebrities get involved in politics. I think it kinda muddies the water and it puts blinders on people instead of, um, uh sorry, my wife is sending me a text. But it puts blinders on people instead of like really digging into what the policies are and what you're actually voting for. You're voting for a celebrity endorsement instead. So that's kind of annoying. But you know what? Let's brush that shit off. Soft cookies. I like it. I like it. It's delicious. Feels good when it hits my mouth. You know what else feels good? Jumping into some headlines.
Let's go! Let's go!
And now, here are the headlines.
How many times does this need to happen? My goodness gracious. A tiger was on the loose on the border of Mexico and Texas. A Mexican zoo lost its Bengal tiger. And it took, I want to say 5-6 days before they tracked it down. After the murderous beast consumed several chickens and enjoyed the spaciousness of freedom, he was finally caught. I mean, that stuff's crazy to me. We've talked about all the animals that have escaped. We had that orangutan not too long ago that escaped. You have but that one didn't, like, it was just like wandering around. It was just fine. It was just curious walking around. We even had that one lady, I think it was in New Jersey, that lady that hopped the fence somehow and went over and tried to pet a tiger at the zoo. They ended up arresting her. Uh, I mean, it's just wild how the zoo is not as secure as you think it is. Thankfully, here in Denver, the Denver Zoo seems to do a great job with keeping the animals safe as well as the clientele, the customers. We're safe when we go in there. We think. I look at the tiger exhibit and it's fully caged in. So I feel like we're safe. But there's been some times when I'm walking around, I'm like, if that cheetah really wanted to fuck shit up, I feel like it could run and just jump. I think. I'm not a scientist, I'm not an animal expert, but I feel like if it was really motivated, it could. It could. But anyway, that's pretty scary, especially if you were in that area because you had to stay inside. Because it's not like it was like a penguin that escaped. No, because if a fucking penguin escaped, you'd be like, oh, that's adorable. I'll keep my eyes out. Let's go get on our bicycles and go wandering around and see if we can find this little penguin. Maybe we'll call him Chilly Willy. Huh? Chilly Willy the penguin. Ha, he achoo. Remember that motherfucker from Woody Woodpecker? Yeah. Anyway, it wasn't. It was a fucking Bengal tiger that was on the loose. You had to lock yourself in your house. And here's what's crazy about that is if all of a sudden you're like looking out your window and you see the fucking tiger and it sees you, if it wanted to, it could walk over to your house as you're staring through the fucking thin ass window. This ain't the bulletproof shit that they got in the zoo. It could just put its paw up there and put a little pressure and that shit would break. And guess what? You're gonna get ate. You're gonna get ate by a tiger. Now, I wanted to get some insight from a tiger expert. So I contacted the Tiger King, Joe Exotic, and I asked him, what are your thoughts about a Bengal tiger escaping a zoo in Mexico and essentially causing some massive amounts of fear across the region?
I've had some kinky sex.
That makes no sense. That makes no sense. Why would you do that, Joe Exotic? I asked you a simple question, and this is what you have to say?
I've had some kinky sex.
You thought it was going to be something good, but it wasn't. You just got blindsided, motherfucker. I am so sorry. I am so sorry. I'm an idiot. Okay? But you know what? I didn't really do anything. You did that. Okay? I didn't do it. You can't blame this on me. What the fuck? How am I already off the rails? I would like to apologize for the last 2 minutes.
What the fuck?
Okay, anyway. Yeah, so watch out for that. Next time you go to the zoo, what I want you to do is start picking it apart. Be like, this doesn't look safe. This doesn't look safe. That's very questionable right there. Because I feel like there's going to be times where you look at something and you're like, if it wanted to, if it was really fucking motivated to jump out or climb something, I feel like there's times where it could happen. It could happen. Next time I go to the Denver Zoo, contract me out. I'll find your flaws, okay? I'll find your flaws. I'll figure it out. I'll go inside. I'll go in the cage, and I'll be like, I put myself as the tiger. How am I going to get out? And then I'll just, take off all my clothes, and I'll be walking around on all fours, and boom, I'll be like, there's your weak link right there, as I'm standing straight up on my two legs, completely naked, hands on my hips. Okay, I think we solved the problem today. That's so dumb. I'm sorry. Hey, speaking of animals, a South Carolina man reported a snake bite. He called 911 in the middle of the night. He's like, I done got bit by a snake and it's poisonous. And they're like, fuck. And apparently it was it may have been the most venomous snake on the planet. It's called an inland tappan. And I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right. It's Taipan. And apparently one bite from this could kill 100 fully grown human beings. That's pretty fucking lethal. I think the guy survived some fucking how. He must have had the anti-venom. If you have a bunch of venomous snakes in your house, don't you think you should have a bunch of anti-venom available as well? Anyway, so when the first responders showed up, they find out to their, I'm sure they were so pleased when they show up, 14 other venomous snakes in the house. No, gross. This story reminds me of when I was a kid. It was the middle of the night, probably summertime. My brother and I are staying up playing Madden football, right? I think we had a Nintendo, and so we're playing Madden or whatever. And next thing we know, we see like this glow on the curtains in the backyard. We're like, whoa, what the heck is that? And we open the back curtains to look outside. And sure enough, the house behind us fully ablaze. I mean, it was something you'd see in a movie, like that much. It was a full-on fucking house fire. Outside, inside, fully just up in flames. And we're like freaking out. So I found out later that house was like the snake house. And the firefighters, when they showed up, they didn't realize that until they're about to go in and somebody told them, to like, by the way, there's all these different types of snakes in there. They were so pissed off. Some of them were reptile guys, and they're like, it's fine, whatever. But could you imagine being a firefighter? You're going in there looking for humans to save, and all of a sudden you're like, fuck, there's a snake. Ah, shit, it looked at me. Oh, God, sweet Lord. They're like these big, strong firefighters, and they're scared shitless. I would be. Would it? Let me just say this. I wouldn't be happy. I wouldn't be happy. Anyway, so uh, here's the thing: don't have a bunch of venomous snakes in your house, because guess what? They may bite you. They may. I saw this story and I thought it was funny because I think celebrities need to have this shit happen to them more often. Is it Guy Fieri? You know, the guy with the crazy spiked hair. He's on like 100 different freaking cooking shows on the Food Network. Does diners, drive-ins, and dives, which I love that show. The Triple D. Anyway, he was at a party at Sylvester Stallone's house. Hey, guy, you come over to my house. Yeah, talk some food. Anyway, he was over at his house, and some dude came up to him and started yelling at him and said, and thought he was a bartender and told him to get back to work. I think that's awesome. Bitch, give me a fuzzy nipple now. Christ almighty. I'm a celebrity. This shit needs to stop. Hey, Sly, get your people back to work, okay? I can't make a fuzzy nipple. I just know how good it tastes. Shit. Hey, that's Guy Fieri. You can't do that to him, okay? Hey! That's my Sylvester Stallone. You are welcome. Put that in your pocket and say goodbye. Anyway, so I thought that was funny. I think that needs to happen to so many celebrities out there. Be humbled. But that being said, it makes you wonder, who's the dick that was yelling at him? Like, go back to work, peasant. You shouldn't be out here talking to us. Pooey, I'm spitting on your face. I'm sure there's celebrities out there that would act like that. Be like, oh God, the the help is talking to me. Ugh. But I know some media members that needs to happen to. They need to be humbled and be like, dude, you just talk on a microphone. Okay? You ain't nothing special. There's a lot that's mostly in TV, to be honest, but it's never like the former athletes. It's always like the media guys, the guys that went to school like me for media, right? And those are the ones that need to be taken down a peg or two often, often. Hey, I just got off the phone with a guy that is going to start, advertising on the show, and I can't wait. I'm not going to tell you who it is yet, but I'm very excited. And it's one of those things that I get to do. I get to work with small businesses here on this show. Listen, a lot of times if you're a small business and you're trying to get your word out and you go to like a TV station or a radio station, they're going to charge you out the butt. And what's funny, as somebody that used to work in radio, a lot of those, let me just say this, a lot of times, not all the time, but a lot of times, those aren't worth it. They're not worth your time and your money. That's why I'm giving everybody a special at the end of the year as we go into 2025, which is crazy to wrap your brain around. The DeHuff Uncensored podcast is doing great. The numbers are through the roof, and it's exciting. And what I want to do to give back to small business is I'm giving you rates at half the cost, and it's just a really cool thing that I feel like I can do for you and your company. From now until October 31st, 2024, if you and your business commit to a 2-month trial, you're going to be a proud sponsor of the #1 comedy podcast in Colorado. It's only going to cost you half. That's great. And it's listen, it's just my way of saying thank you. And obviously it does help me out a little bit as well. So what you got to do, be like the other guys and shoot me an email, dehuffpodcast@gmail.com, and I'll give you plenty more details. Your company's message will be projected to the world via all audio podcast platforms, plus video on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, and of course, Twitch. Now, I have over 20 years in Denver media. I'm not just another podcast. This is what I do. And I want to help you get out the good word of your company. And this is what this is allowing you to do. And I get it. Advertising budgets can be slim. it's that time of year, okay? You might not get a new chunk of change towards advertising until the first of the year. That's why I'm cutting things in half. I'm cutting things in half. Pew pew pew. Laser beams. Explosion. Everything is half off. Oh. Anyway, I'm cutting you and your company a break. So half off sponsorship rates if you commit to a 2-month trial by October 31st, 2024. Shoot me an email, dehuffpodcast@gmail.com, and let's get things rolling. This is fascinating. I think it does create a big conversation. Queensland, Australia is being commended because they have a kind of a funny but truthful campaign going out on Instagram talking about how it's okay to poo at work. I think that's funny. And I got to be honest, when I was younger, I didn't like to do that. Shoot, when I was dating my wife, we thankfully lived like a block away when we first started dating. And I refused to go poop in her house, especially at her mom's house. Like I was just like, no, not gonna do it. I don't want to stink it up. I was scared of that. So I'd always make up an excuse to go run down to my house, go to the bathroom, then drive back up. So I get it. There's always that fear of, people are gonna know what I did. Listen, everybody poops, everybody gets it. But it's still one of those things where people are judging, and maybe you got an upset stomach and you don't want people to smell that. And depending on the location of the bathroom, too, that can be a problem. If it's bad design and you got to drop some serious heat in a bathroom, but it's like right in front of everybody's office or their desks, that's embarrassing. And if it has poor ventilation, they don't have a good fart fan in there. Yeah, I get it. That's where you try to be like, I need to go for a walk. Like you go somewhere else, ideally. So I understand if there's very limited options to go to the bathroom, that some people are hesitant to use the bathroom at work. I got to the point where, because at first I was the same way. I didn't want to do it at work. But then I got to the point where I was like, screw that. I have to go. And it got to the point where my poo schedule was set to go off during my shifts. So doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. I still don't like going to doing number two at somebody's house. It's not my style. I don't want to be over there and just like drop some nastiness over there. But if you're at work, make sure you're clocked in and then go to the bathroom. And then, I don't see what the big deal is of pooping at work, but I kind of get it. I do kind of get it. What we need to do right now is jump into the mailbag.
Mailbag. You've got mail.
This comes in on my Gmail account, dehuffpodcast@gmail.com, and it comes in from Elliot. Elliot said, hey, can you react to Deion Sanders telling the O-line if they don't block, their mama won't eat? Thanks. Love the show. I don't have the audio. I don't think translates very well. So I don't think so. Let me see real quick. I know I posted it somewhere, and I'm sorry. I meant to have it pulled up, but I forgot. Please don't mind me. Just fucking shit up. That's all I'm doing. God damn it. So unprofessional. Yeah, if you want me to sponsor endorse your product. Yeah. Look at me. I'm so professional. Look at me. But yeah, I don't see what the big deal is of him using those comparisons. Like, this is what you have to pretend. You have to pretend that if you don't block this guy in front of you, that your mama's not going to eat. I like that. It's playing a mental game with yourself. Let me see real quick. Hold on. That's. Ooh, I got another person interested. Let me save this real quick. I forgot to save it. Sorry. Let's see. This comes in. Here we go. So this is Deion addressing his offensive line and his team.
Linemen should feel like, if I don't make this block, my mama won't eat. If I don't make this block, my mama would not eat today. She gonna starve.
I think that's the way you do it. Because you guys know this in business and sports, whatever, a lot of it is mental games. If you can get in the right mental headspace of, man, I need to step up my game, but what the fuck? If you're sitting there blocking a guy and you're like, don't go after my mama, don't you dare go after my mama, right? And then you're just blocking. I think that's good. That's a good mentality that it's just a simple mind game that you can play with. If it works, it works. The thing is he's got what he's got for the rest of the season. I mean, it's not like they can go trade for some offensive lineman. They can't. That's not how it works. So if getting inside their heads and making them project that some evil bastard is trying to, take food out of their mom's mouth, if it works, it works. I think that's all they got the rest of the season is trying to do some Jedi mind tricks on their players. And if it can get them out of their funk, if it can take them from level 1 to all of a sudden jumping up a few more levels, fine, whatever fucking works. I don't care if they have to pretend that, the defense is like some, it's Darth Vader and he's trying to attack Luke Skywalker. And then Chewie's over there running for his life, poor little fella. That R2-D2's over there going beep, beep, boop, beep, beep, bop. Right? Whatever the fuck works, okay? It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. If it works, at the end of the day, that's good. Now, I stumbled over that a little bit because I distracted myself, and I apologize. I saw an email from somebody. I forgot to download the sound. Okay? Don't come at me. Gosh, don't come at me. I didn't do anything wrong.
I didn't do fucking shit.
I just wanted to play that soundbite. I'm such a child.
Right, as always.
I am Ken. You know this. Anyway. Somebody's back there complaining. Oh, that's not funny enough. I don't like you.
What a bitch.
Yeah, Laszlo, you tell him. Anyway, thank you guys so much for joining the show. You guys are fantastic. Big thanks to Elliot for sending that in. If you guys want to be like Elliot and join the show, you can either hit me up like he did on email, dehuffpodcast@gmail.com, or you can hit me up on my socials at dehuffpodcast. It's DeHuff Uncensored. Thanks so much for listening. Share it with your friends. Subscribe if you can. Give it a nice review, all that stuff. Big thanks to Bet Online. Go check them out at betonline.ag. It's DeHuff Uncensored. Let's continue to move forward. I'll talk to you next time.